Here to reveal Suzani, the July 2020 StencilGirl Stencil Club set. It's Gwen Lafleur.
Hi everybody, so this is Gwen Lafleur and I am your July Stencil Club designer. And my stencils this month, the collection is called Suzani's, and they are based on textiles from Central Asia, specifically in Uzbekistan. I'll tell you a little bit more about that and the inspiration in a minute, but first I want to show you the stencils. So getting started, this is the 9x12. There's this main floral design and you can mask out different areas of it and use just little bits and pieces or reconfigure. And then there are 4 little floral designs there that you can see in the corners. And then there is the 6x6, which is one of my favorites. And if you know me, you know I love a medallion. So the fact that there are a lot of medallions in Suzani's is very fun for me. So there is that one, and you can use it, or you can use it without that border for a different look. And I'll show you a little bit of that. Then there is the 4x4, which I might actually be, it's a tie between this and the 6x6 as to which is my favorite design, but I really love that one. And so those are the stencils for this month. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about, if you don't know what a Suzani is, a Suzani is, it's a textile, it's an embroidered textile that they make in Central Asia, particularly in Uzbekistan. And it is usually like a giant bedspread or something that women make to take with them when they get married and they go on their beds after they get married. A lot of times they're wall hangings. When I was in Central Asia about 1.5 years ago, we went through museums where they had them hanging, just gorgeous ones all over the place. And when I was in Uzbekistan, I went to a museum in a summer palace outside of, I think I was in Bukhara, and they had a Suzani museum right there on the grounds. And so I went in and looked through it, and just such gorgeous, amazing work. And they had little placards with pictures of traditional Suzani motifs all over them. And so I took pictures of a bunch of them and of the Suzanis, and I used those when I was designing these. So these came from actual motifs from traditional designs. And what happens a lot of the time is that I have a huge one on my wall that I bought. It's actually a tree of life. But when they start to wear out or they get old, then they upcycle them and they turn them into other things. So just as a little example of what a real Suzani looks like, since the one on my wall is kind of too big to show you. Here is a bag that I bought. And so you can see they took one of those floral medallion designs. And so that's one side. And then the other side looks like that. And I'll hold it up kind of close so that you can see what the needlework looks like. This one is a little bit old, but you can see the texture of it and what that looks like. And they're just kind of big and blocky. And I tried to reflect that in the design of the stencils. And then I also found these fantastic little pouches that were from smaller pieces of Suzani's. And you can really see the stitching a little bit better on that. But that, if you look at it, you can see that this is from a large circle and then they've just folded it over. And there's another one. So that gives you a sense of, kind of where the designs came from, what the look is that I was going for, and how I was trying to replicate the actual textiles to some degree. So I thought I would show you a few little samples using these. And I've played around with them a bit in my art journal, and some of these are in works in progress. Some of them are one I was just repeating, but I will show these to you so you can see. But here is the 9x12, and you can see I'm still kind of coloring this on and off as I go, but you can see just how beautifully it stencils and how big it is, and I just love how it came out and how nice that looks on a page. But like I said, you can use bits and pieces of it. You can rearrange and configure, you can mask and do things with it, and I think that is going to be pretty fun. And then that 4x4 that I said was one of my favorites. One of the things I love most about it is the way you can repeat it. And I just had a blast just with some ink and a sponge on my art journal page here, creating a repeated background with that 4x4. And I love it. And you can do it just as a square. you know, this way, or you can turn it like I did here and do it as a diamond, and it repeats beautifully either way. And then the 6x6, I used it as a background on this page, and I just love how that works. It's kind of a halo effect, but it just really just turned into a fantastic medallion, and I love it. But that's a very traditional floral medallion pattern from actual Suzani's. And then I wanted to show you a sneak peek at the project that we're going to be doing as part of the Stencil Club membership. So if you're a member in July, you get a free, or not free, but it's included, a class, a project that you get to do using the stencils. And my project this month is a journal. And this is, I'll show you a little bit. So those are the outside covers of the journal. And I'm going to show you how to make it. It's fairly simple. And just show you some of the inside pages that just, you can stencil these as you would like. Here's one where I just used bits and pieces of the 9x12, and you can see that I isolated those flowers. And I'll show you also, I repeated one of the smaller motifs from the 9x12, so you can see those repeat and they turn into really cool little patterns on their own. And then here I'll show you how this is where I took the 6x6 and I didn't use the circle that's on it, and it just gives you a slightly different look. So that is the project, just a little peek at it for you. And so I will show you how to make the book and talk about the stenciling. And so that is what you have to look forward to in the stencils release on the 15th. So if you are not a member of Stencil Club, the only way that you can get these stencils is if you are a member. And it is only $25, and you get 3 stencils and you get the class. It's an absolutely fantastic deal. And there's no, you know, you don't have to commit for months or a year or whatever it is. So, you know, join us. There's a fantastic Facebook group. The people who are already in Stencil Club can attest. Really fun and inspiring, and a lot of great conversation all the time. So I hope you love the Suzani stencils, and I hope that I will see you in Stencil Club.
Thanks so much for watching. Remember, Stencil Club stencil sets ship on the 15th of the month, and members will be able to access the designer's exclusive project video and PDF. Need stencils? Just click the link below. Happy stenciling!